Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're doing the NOS232-Practicum. I've had several issues doing this practicum. I recently just uploaded a copy and the audio did not work. That'll be my fourth one. As you can see, the VM is live. I'm going to pull this down here so that it's still functioning. What you need to know about a live migration is that both the source and destination servers must have Hyper-V Manager installed. You also want to make sure that both processors have, or both servers have a processor from the same family. So Intel or AMD, they can't have one of each. You need to make sure that they are capable of virtualization, and you also need to make sure that the virtual disks are formatted in VHD or VHDX, otherwise the process won't work. So we're going to migrate this VM back to where it originally came from when I did my first migration. So we right-clicked on it, we click Move. Now we're going to pick PP Server. We're going to click Next. We're going to move the virtual machine's data to one single location. I'm going to pick a folder here on the D drive. We're going to go Virtual Machines, Plan Virtual Machines. I'm going to click Select. I'm going to click Next. I'm going to click Finish. And as you can see, the migration process has started. So I am going to pull the VM back up, and as you can see, it's still live, so that the VM is still running while the migration takes place. That would be where the name live migration came from. The great thing is you can do a live migration while the VM is still running and not disrupt the user who's using the VM. That way there's no loss of productivity. You know, think about all the frustrations you go through having to turn a server off for updates or upgrades and the loss of productivity that probably could result from that. Well, with live migration, at least in a particular case of a VM, you don't have those frustrations. They're eliminated because you get to use the VM exactly how it was intended to while it's moving from one server to the other. One of the big reasons you would want to do this is if you're not using shared storage, and the storage for each server is localized. This could be a number of reasons. You may need to work on one server but still use the VM. You may need to fix a hard drive on one server and still use the VM, or you may just be running out of storage. There are numerous reasons. But as you can see, the VM is still migrating, so I'm going to let that migrate, and I will come back to you once the VM is finished, and we'll wrap up this video. Take a nice look at the Avengers videos. Hopefully that's not too much of a spoiler for those who haven't seen the movie. It was a great movie, but as I said, I'll come back to you once the migration is finished. It shouldn't take too much longer, and we will wrap up the video. we're going to go back to our live migration, and as you can see, it's still processing. Hopefully it won't take but a few more minutes, and then we can wrap up this video. Hopefully you guys found this video instructional, and in the future we'll be able to do live migrations on your own without any worry. I'm glad I could provide this information to you. I know this takes a little while, but it's well worth it to be able to transition your VM from one server to another and still be able to use it. As you can see, that is sort of indicative of the fact that the migration has finished. So you can see the VM is no longer listed in the Prepper Storage Hyper-V Manager, and it is now listed in the PP Server 2016 Hyper-V Manager. So the migration is successfully done, and as you can see, the VM is still live. So thank you and have a nice evening.